This is your data and events preview for the week of 22nd July. Risks, as always, are abundant both locally and abroad. We've highlighted a few that will impact investor sentiment this week. Let's take a look. The first internationally is the UK Prime Minister being announced. That's tomorrow. It's a close race between Boris Johnson and Jeremy Hunt, but regardless of who ascends to power and takes up a seat at 10 Downing Street, Brexit uncertainty will still remain, and that remains woeful for sterling asset investors who remain cautious ahead of the 31 October deadline. The next across the pond is Robert Mueller's testimony to Congress. The real question becomes how much pressure the Democrats will put on Mueller to answer questions that weren't necessarily answered within his original report. This will obviously widen the divide between Democrats and Republicans as they negotiate ahead of the debt ceiling. We'll probably see a one-month impasse, but the greater debate becomes before the presidential elections in 2020. What's next on the cards? Well, we have the IMF releasing its revisions to its World Economic Outlook. Remember, this isn't the update that will come in October. Instead, they're advising on global economic growth as well as what policymakers should do in response to the deteriorating data. We have a European Commission incoming president who seems slightly more amenable to fiscal indiscipline. And then finally, we have Iran versus the West. This should have quite a big bearing on the oil price going forward this week, depending on how that plays out. Locally, after an eventful SARB MPC meeting last week, we have SA headline inflation coming out on Wednesday. As is evident from the graph below, we see a moderation as a result of the lower fuel price, a great relief for consumers. We also have owner's equivalent rent being surveyed, and if March is anything to go by, we should continue to see a moderation there. As always, we'll be keeping track of developments.